Good morning to you from sunny Silkeborg, Denmark. Thank you for joining our live coverage of the LGT World Women's Curling Championship in 2019. Silkeborg is on the Gudenau River, and it's the outdoor capital of Denmark. But this quaint city is welcoming athletes and fans alike to their Silkeborg Sports Center. Our feature matchup inside is the United States of America versus Scotland. It is session 18 of the World Championship, and these are some of the final draws. Placement critical for all of these teams. We've got a nearly full house this morning. Students from around Silkeborg here to cheer on some of the 13 countries playing. Playing lead for the United States is Monica Walker. At second, Taylor Anderson. Her identical twin sister, Sarah Anderson, is the third and vice skip. Jamie Sinclair is the skip of Team USA. Sophie Sinclair playing lead. Millie Smith, second stones for Team Scotland. Naomi Brown is the third. And Sophie Jackson is skip of Team Scotland. We look at our standings. Sweden and Russia in the enviable positions of qualified for the playoff rounds. Korea, Switzerland, China right behind with 7 wins. Canada, Japan, United States, Germany, and Scotland all still in the mix. All of those countries needing wins in their final day of round robin play. Denmark, Finland, and Latvia have been eliminated from post-round robin. Other games in session 18, Latvia playing Korea on sheet A, Denmark playing Finland on sheet B, sheet C, Sweden versus Canada, and our feature game is on D. It's Scotland and the United States. As the teams get ready for the first rocks, I'd like to introduce myself. I'm Ann Swisshelm, and this morning I am joined by curling expert and Olympic champion, Rhona Howie. Good morning, Rhona.
Good morning, Ann.
This matchup is key for both of these teams. Scotland on the outside of the playoff contention looking in, and USA with a couple of wins has a chance to secure one of the top 6 spots. Some last-minute team meetings here as they get set to go. USA will throw the first stone of this game. Jamie Sinclair makes her way to the far end of the ice. She'll set the target for her lead, who will get things going. And this is how we got here. Scotland had an extraordinary last stone draw. That's the draw challenge at the end of the pregame practice. Scotland put 2 rocks 36.2 centimeters from the center of the ice. That means Monica Walker, 32-year-old lead for Team USA, will get things going.
I'm good. 5. Where is it? 5, 6.
Monica's curled for 22 years, the majority of her life, and her play this week has shown it. She's had very steady games all week. Sophie Sinclair. She's only 21.
This is Sophie's first outing at the World Women's Championship. Had a really great week, sitting second equal in the stats for Leeds right now. So important now to have the lead, setting up your ends the way you want to call the game.
Is this a critical matchup of this game for both of these teams?
It is. Both these leads have had a good week. Say Sophie's second equal, Monica Walker's sixth equal.
Good weight. Just repeat what she's saying because I couldn't hear it. Okay.
Both teams just playing very cagey first end. Want to keep it open. Not putting up the guards.
Taylor Anderson gets her first stone of this game underway.
Clean. Clean. Nine. A little roll if you can, one. Yep. Good job.
A nice easy hit and roll for Taylor.
I thought that was when I pulled him on out of the hand.
I was tight and I stopped.
That's what I thought, so that was my bad.
No, not
It was good weight.
Yeah.
And Millie Smith. This team from Scotland, they have a World Junior Curling Championship silver medal from 2017.
Weight's good. Nothing.
Yep, they've just competed at the recent World University Games,
Millie. Nice. Good shot.
where they finished fourth.
Good, Millie. Nice throw. Does she want a 10 or just want a 9.5? She wants 9.5. Okay, just making sure.
On Taylor's bio, she has one of her curling heroes as John Landsteiner.
Clean. Yes.
It's not often that a lead for any team gets picked as the curling hero, but John is a member of the gold medal winning team from the United States at last year's Olympic Games.
10-3. Straight. Yeah.
Here's our rules of play. The games are scheduled for 10 ends, but 6 ends are the minimum requirement. These teams have 38 minutes of thinking time each, and they have one 60-second timeout that they can exercise at any point while they control the clock. Sarah Anderson. She is the older sister of Taylor Anderson. It is only by a couple of minutes as they are identical twins. They have kindly put their hair in unique positions today. One's in a ponytail and one's in a bun. You'll be able to follow along much easier at home.
Yeah, that's very kind of them. Makes it a lot easier for spectators and ourselves.
Naomi Brown, age 22, one of the older players on Team Scotland.
Good, Naomi.
Naomi's sister used to play with Hannah Fleming. They won a World Junior gold medal. And her father's a very well-known Scottish curler. Norman Brown played with Hammy McMillan. So she's got good stock behind her.
No, right off.
Okay. This is almost firm. What'd you have?
I didn't get it, sorry.
So the hit and roll out leaves an open field of play for Naomi Brown.
If it runs straight, it won't be, but just keep an eye.
I think we're there.
Line's good. Should be close. 7, 4, 5. Take a leg.
Not move much.
5.
Still not move much.
Naomi Brown 6th in the stats for third players this week for her first appearance at World
Naomi.
Women's Championship. This Scottish team
Nice sweat.
won the recent Scottish Championships, beating Eve Muirhead's rink 3 times in a row to clinch the title.
Yeah, Eve Muirhead, Olympic bronze medalist, perennial favorite at the World Championship. To beat such an outstanding veteran team 3 times in a single week, so impressive. And Jamie Sinclair, age 27. Jamie lives in Osgood, Ontario. She was born in Anchorage, Alaska. She's got dual citizenship with 2 countries.
9-6. Little roll, Ted. Good job. Good call.
She makes a nice hit and roll towards the center.
So with her living in Canada, how much time did the team get to train together?
Well, the team trains together at the Chaska Curling Center in Chaska, Minnesota. That's home to USA's high performance program. And they spend a tremendous amount of time there and really work on all aspects of their game quite regularly. Sophie Jackson. She's got the least amount of years under her belt on this sheet of ice. It's only 10 years of curling for Sophie, but she's had an extraordinarily impressive career. She's got one of those silver medals at the World Junior Curling Championships. She actually won the World Junior Curling B division to qualify Scotland. Lots of pressure there.
Same weight.
Yep, and unfortunately this week she had a back injury in the early part of the week,
Should be the same here.
so wasn't able to play for a few games.
Okay.
The alternate player, Lauren Gray, came on and skipped the team.
And Lauren stepped in and did a fantastic job. Just a fantastic job in a very difficult set of circumstances.
Yeah, left. Yep. Gotta go. Hard. Hold it, maybe. Hard.
This stone is curling,
Hard, yes.
moving really hard. USA working every bit to hold the line, and they do.
Good wing. It's our wing. 9-4. Yeah. Field.
Saw that on the first one.
Field. Left shot, or will that be good?
Sorry?
It's like left shot, or will that be
Wondering that. Should be good, eh?
I think so, yeah.
So this last stone,
Field.
Team Scotland would love to blank this end.
A lot of rotation in this. Threw it into out. Is it going to make contact?
so.
It doesn't.
One, yeah.
That was all in the release there.
from an extraordinarily well-played end to a single miss. And with that single miss, the United States takes the lead after the opening end, 1-0. Scotland retains the hammer, and we'll be back for the second end.
Little late. Top 12. Keep looking. Top 12.
Top 4, guys. Line's good, top 4.
It's close. Whoa, look. Look.
Curl if any. Take.
You're watching live coverage of the LGT World Women's Curling Championship 2019. USA has the lead over Scotland in our feature matchup after one end. USA gets its first rock in play. And Scotland, Sinclair, going for the hit and roll here, Rhona.
Trying to hit this and roll out to the wing. Thought we might have seen a corner guard go up.
Good, Soph. Nice stroke.
So the play has been somewhat conservative from both teams so far. What are some of the reasons for that?
The pressure of being in a must-win game. They want to keep things simple and keep the scoreline tight to give themselves a chance. But to be fair, you know, both these teams have played 10 round-robin games already. They know the ice. They know what they're doing, and I would have liked to have seen some more guards in play the game rather than just hitting. Scotland have got the hammer. Now they're calling for a corner guard. If they want to score 2, they need to put some cover up.
Line's good.
Line's good. 2, 3. 2.
Line's good.
2, 3.
How's the line?
3.
Line will be good. Needs to set a touch, but okay.
We're okay, I think.
Still needs to curl, but should be good. Well, good Soph.
Good, Soph. Nice throw.
Nice corner guard. As we've seen this week, the guards need to be fairly close to the rings to be usable. If they're too long, and you come around, you could poke out the other side, or the opposition are able to tap back round the long guard.
2, 3. 2.
So Scotland puts a guard out onto the wing. USA, their choice here.
Yeah, so they're quite happy to put this just biting the 12-foot.
3.
They can't remove the guard, it's in the free guard zone. So just put that one close, so Scotland can't remove that red, but they could play a split. close enough to the rings. Just split the red to the side and roll their shooter across.
So with this rock being tight to the rings, Scotland's going to try and hit and roll under their corner.
Nothing. Solid barrier. Okay.
Hitting just a little bit on the wide side. The shooter rolls out of play. Tom Brewster is the coach for Team Scotland. He's got an Olympic silver medal. Lauren Gray, the alternate, Olympic bronze, and Dave Murdoch, their national program director, silver medal at the Olympics. There's a lot of curling knowledge on the bench for Team Scotland. Curling medals continue. Pete Fenson, USA's national coach for women. He's got a bronze medal from the 2006 Olympic Games, and he's joined by their alternate, Vicky Persinger and Derek Brown. So this style of play, this defensive, we've had rocks, we've hit, we've rolled out, all the guards are gone, the plays in the rings. Does this favor one team or the other, Rhona?
It's favouring USA right now. They're quite happy that Scotland aren't getting cover up and coming around.
Is that because USA's got that 1 point lead?
Yep, they stole the one at first end. They're happy to force Scotland to take the one at this end, and then USA would then have hammer. Scotland only managed to get the one guard up and then weren't able to utilise it. So now they're just playing a clean end, hoping to blank and go into the next end and try and get a better setup.
Well, in order to get a better setup, you gotta try to set things up. It's gonna be interesting to see which one of these teams makes the shift first.
Same thing. Yeah, a little roll your way. Yep.
And this young Scottish team, it's a big learning curve for them in the world women's scene. Different tactical game,
Same, a little less.
different standard of play.
I think a little more.
And to be fair, it's a different tactical game for everyone this season. We've got a new rule, the 5 rock free guard zone. So maybe all the teams are finding their way.
Good judge, Mon.
Yeah, we've certainly seen a lot more 4s and 5s scored this week than in previous years, and it's all to do with the new 5 rock rule.
Well, the data in support of that 5 rock rule, when it was implemented, told us we would see more scoring per game on average. I don't think we had any idea that we would see 3s, 4s, and 5s hang on the scoreboard at the kind of rate we're seeing. It's pretty exciting. Very little nil-nil action happening in curling anymore.
Just control still. Little roll my way. Center. Yep.
Seems to be nice, like predictable curl.
Sophie Sinclair sitting 10th among skips so far this week in the stats table. They've had their struggles, but they are still in playoff contention.
Good job. I think
And 5 and 5 at the moment.
they're gonna get more.
And you'd have to think if you can get to 7 and 5 and you've got the right head-to-head win matchups, that USA has a chance to make playoffs. The top 6 teams will make the playoffs. The number 1 and number 2 seeds getting a bye directly into the semifinal rounds.
Yep. After they play Scotland, USA just have Switzerland remaining in their last game.
Plays good. Yep.
So it's a must-win 2 games day.
Hard. Hard. Whoa. Hard. Yeah.
Scotland play Korea in their last game later on today.
Okay, good there. Nice throw.
Good throw. Trying to figure out how much more reds I'm hitting or
Sophie sitting 12th among the skips and stats, so she's
unsure
had her
about
struggles
it.
this week.
I'm just trying to figure out, you know, when you don't know
It
how
looks
much
like
moves.
it's obviously high stuff. It looked like a clean throw. So
Yeah, and having to deal with an injury after playing at the World University Games, such a long week, and coming directly here. Tough set of circumstances for the young skip from Scotland.
10 seconds left.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Hard. Hard. Oh. 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 Little rotate.
USA want to keep that in the centre, make it harder for Sophie Jackson to get the blank.
Made it perfect. It was a bit soft out of hand.
You can be. I missed the time. 28, 58.
A little light.
Yeah.
A little light. Solid end again.
So it is the intern blank this time for Sophie.
She came a little wide when she threw the counterclockwise rotating attempt in the first. She's got the clockwise rotating attempt here in the second.
Okay. That's fine.
And this time the error is on the narrow side. The good news is that miss means she's got a point, and this game is all tied up. We are 1-1 after 2 ends of play. Stay tuned for the third.
Yeah, so they're probably going to go top 4. Yeah. Mine did the lead. I like the tick. Or do you like back 8?
It's 1-1, all tied up. United States and Scotland is our feature game this morning. This is the 18th session of play at the World Championship. Some very defensive play, conservative play opened up the game for two ends. Are you happy to see the guards go up on the first stones of the end?
Yeah, definitely. We heard USA talking there at the end of the end. They thought Scotland were going to go top 4, but they wouldn't when they're not up in the game. It's just 1-1 the score. USA could have put up a corner here to try and generate a 2, but they've put it to the wing.
Just fresh path, I think.
So playing to the wing, what kind of
20? 15.
goals does USA have for the end, making that choice?
They're quite happy to blank the third end and go into the fourth and score at even ends.
Is that at all early in the game to be exercising that kind of thinking?
Yeah, that's for the latter half of the game, the last few ends. The second half, anyway, you start to think about the even ends scoring. But when it's only the third end of the game, I'd like to have seen USA put up a corner, come around, try and generate a 2. By doing this, they may get a 2, but they're just waiting for a mistake from Scotland rather than them being proactive and generating a multiple score.
11, 10-5. Yep, yep. 11. Yep. Yep, all the way. Yep, yep, yep. Timmy. Oh, oh. Good. Good job. Nice job.
And as that rock rolls closer to the center, the Team USA stone closer to the center line, that hit and roll for Scotland becomes a little bit easier.
It does, but the only good thing for USA is that the guard and the stone in the house would be quite close together, so there would be an easier double. Good effort there from Millie Smith. Covers the inside edge, so now USA straight away go for the double.
Did she say pew? 3/4. 3/4.
So 5 rocks have been played. The restrictions in the free guard zone are lifted at this point. This is that spot in the ice where Sophie Jackson missed the blank attempt.
So close. Good throw.
It's a pretty straight spot on the ice when you throw that up weight with a little bit of outward momentum and rotation.
That's tolerance. Okay. Close, Tim.
So Millie Smith just drawing to the wing, fly 2.
8, 9. Take a look. 7, 8. Not move yet. 8.
They want to create as much separation between these two stones,
Starting
so
to
as
move.
not to leave an easy double.
Yeah, I think you probably can. So. Hard. Hard, 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 hard. Go, go,
Hard,
go,
hard,
go.
hard, hard. Right back. Go, 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 go.
Good, 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 Millie.
Really well played.
That didn't move as much.
No. Firm. Should get some movement here. Soft nose, do you think? Yep, a little bit off nose.
So USA will try and lift the double at some point at this end. Scotland will keep trying to lie to force USA to a 1.
Yes. Yes. Hard. Yep, 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 yep. Good one. That's good. Hot, hot,
So Naomi Brown wants to nose this one.
clean, yep. Clean, yep. Clean, just clean. Good deal,
Nice shot.
Nice.
with that stone sitting so high in the rings, all of a sudden you see Team USA looking at different options, rolling in, hitting the back one.
I like the top one.
I think you still have 4 rocks left.
She got control.
Yeah, I like the call to hit and roll over and sit on top of the, in line with the Scottish stone, so it makes it harder for Scotland to remove. And also it could then leave a double later on when the stones are together.
Normal. 10. No. Easy normal.
So wants to catch the inside and roll over.
Gotta roll.
And just hits it on the nose. Is it in?
Well, while we take a look at that, we'll check out what's happening around the rink. On sheet A, Latvia and Korea are all tied at 1 as they're in the 3rd. Sheet B, Denmark and Finland.
Control.
Denmark up by a single point there. And in a very key matchup on sheet C, Sweden and Canada, no score.
So Naomi Brown just trying to hit and roll and stay, and I think they've overswept this.
Okay, good throw.
Opportunity lost for Scotland there. USA will be quite happy now.
This sprung a lot. Yeah.
They can go for the blank.
Good throw, Naomi. Thought it was really starting to curl.
Yeah, and you've almost got to wonder, is there some kind of analytics that are being played here by Team USA? Is this on purpose?
Good weight.
They could have called a freeze on that to try and generate a 2.
Yeah, and that would be a relatively conservative way to play for a 2.
Nice weight.
Yeah, I just
Good weight.
feel that
Good
both
info out of
teams
that.
are just trying to keep the scoreline tight. They're definitely playing
Shot. Nice calls.
very cautiously this morning.
Good sweep. Nice job.
Yeah.
I like
I
how
feel good today, like calm and
I
relaxed.
feel good too. I feel in control and like taking our time with every shot.
The USA here, they didn't put up the corner guard, so they're quite happy to blank this third end. But by the third end of the game, you should really be trying to get stones in play, try and generate something.
Plays good.
Well, is there any worry here that with the lack of draws being thrown, that at some point when you need a critical one, you won't have that connection?
Good throw, so good. Nice.
Yeah,
Good serve is good.
the leads are still playing draws, so the team are still getting splits on the draws that are being played, so they know the time of the ice. Yeah, just
Nose is good.
interesting that
Okay,
both teams are quite happy to play this back and forward game just now.
Yeah. Quite a few down this line now.
Yeah. We know this line because it will cut.
Yeah, you have to play to win the game. You can't just rely on your opposition's mistakes.
Nice control. 11. Yep. Yes.
Yep.
You're good. Right to it, Tay. Right to it. Yep.
9 out of 10.
9-8.
Yeah.
That was actually up. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice throw.
Just curl there.
Yeah. Good. 9-8. Okay. The last sweep was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of just gradual.
You notice Sophie Sinclair always goes down to the head before Sophie Jackson will play her shots, and she slides up, reassuring her before she plays her shot. Cleans the ice. Just gives that final confirmation to her skip.
A little extra support, a little extra connection. And also she's cleaning the line just behind her.
Even more than last. Okay. Solid.
It's not curling yet. Curling now.
Curl. Okay.
Good throw. Nice throw.
Good
we've got the third blank attempt in a row here.
You got this, Jane.
Sophie Jackson struggled with these. Will her opposition, Jamie Sinclair, be able to execute the blank and retain the hammer? That last stone advantage into the fourth end. It's a spot on the ice we haven't seen yet. But at this point in the week, the team should know what the ice is doing here.
Easy. Clean. Clean. Oh, whoa.
No noise. Oh my goodness.
Wow. The story of this game.
Yeah, yeah. Very good.
The hardest shot being the shot to blank the
It
end.
almost fell. Yeah.
No worries.
USA surprised by a spot in the ice. Scotland thrilled to have stolen a single point. They take a 2-1 lead into the fourth end.
Mind it, I think. See what, you know, they might go round, but if they do, it's fine. I think.
Line's good.
Not that much.
1, 2. Off if you can. 2. Steady. 2 wide just now. 2, 3. 3, 4.
Okay.
Really?
Sitting now, but I don't
Was
think
it
I
4?
can. I don't think you can.
No.
6.
Stop.
Good. Okay. Okay.
You're watching live coverage from the LGT World Women's
Yeah.
Curling Championship 2019.
Just that fast pass there. Yeah. Just look.
We're into the fourth end here in our feature game, USA versus Scotland. The story of this game, conservative play and missed shots with the hammer.
2.
Yeah, going by the first 3 ends going to be blank. The score should probably be nothing each after 3 ends, but it's currently 2-1. And yeah, hopefully now we're going to see some stones in play. USA open up their corner and get something going.
So going 2.5.
Yeah. I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, someone needs to use their hammer to generate points instead of try and not score points.
Definitely.
Felt quite similar.
Line's good.
And Scotland putting up a second guard now.
Line's good though. Let it curl.
Well, the first one is just biting.
3. Steady.
Need to sit.
3. Just let it
Line's
move.
good. This is heavy.
It's on the draw shot line.
It's really
again.
running.
Stop.
It's almost set.
Is it going to
Okay.
stop?
Okay, fine there.
7.
Just.
So they were looking for more separation in those stones?
Yeah, they were looking for a longer guard, which is interesting now that when they're actually leading the game that they're putting up the cover, whereas before they were bringing it into the rings.
Yeah, now we've talked about you mentioned the player accuracy, their tournament accuracy. Monica Walker sitting at 84% overall accuracy for the tournament. Is that a number, is that a commanding number at lead?
Yeah, I mean, Monica Walker is sitting 6th equal out of the leads, but there's very little difference between the top leads. You know, your 1% separating the top bunch.
Back line.
Okay. Should move a wee touch here. Should it? Straight on the other hand, so.
Yeah, I think it'll move a bit.
So Sophie Sinclair sitting 2nd equal of the leads. Sophia Marbergs from Sweden
Whoa! Back line!
is top lead.
No! Back line!
What's the top lead's average percentage?
So top lead sitting at 87 and Monica Walker sitting at 83.
Whoa, 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 nothing.
So not much in it.
No, I don't think it's going to help it. So.
Can they get a roll behind the centre?
Okay, good, Millie. That's fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's all right.
Yeah, that's okay.
So Scotland lying 1.
Tolerance is definitely just straight peel, right?
Yep.
That one at the back 12 really isn't doing any harm for USA so far back. They could bring another one round here and try and force errors from Scotland.
Yep.
But USA feel that these yellows out front are danger stones.
Yeah, the stacked combo being potentially dangerous.
Should have thrown peel. Sorry. Nice, Taylor. Good throw.
Throw peel at that, you get the triple.
Sorry?
Throw peel at that, and you get the triple.
Yeah.
Think it'll move.
Great throw.
I don't think I'll do that much, no. Okay.
Is this normal?
What, wait? Control.
With the center guards gone, Scotland's got to play the hit in the wings.
Okay.
Yeah, they want to force USA to a 1 here.
Well, we've learned that the way to do that is to try and blank.
Nothing. Fully solid.
Quite a bit, I think.
Coming down, but we're still solid. Right.
Good.
Good.
Good, Millie.
Nice.
Nice throw.
So now USA can come around this corner guard,
Good thing.
I think it's good speed.
try and bury,
Not quite as fast as LSD.
set up a 2.
You like that ice?
They don't need to lie short.
Yeah, you can
They're
feed
just
it
trying to
a
get
one.
it buried.
Yeah, and putting the stone directly behind the center line guard.
We're just calling a technical timeout here. It's a problem with
Oh, he's coming, he's coming. Okay.
the stone. The handle's loose. Or is it that the lights
I'm
aren't
gonna have him
flashing?
just watch and then deal with
Yeah.
They're usually the 2 reasons why you would call
So you think like a 4
an ice technician on.
Yep.
it. The rock's not lighting up. Do you mind just watching and just watch and then we'll fix it after that? Yeah.
The eye on the hog. Lights are not flashing, not being activated.
Yeah, and that's wise of USA to alert the officials that the battery inside the stone is
Little light?
in need of replacement. But I think it's smart to wait until the end of the end. Don't take any more time, downtime between your shots than necessary.
You're right. It's got to stop. 13-7.
9. Room still.
Might come down in this fresh stuff. Sit, 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 sit.
Sit. That's fine.
That works.
Second shot.
Yeah, and it's in there undercover.
Try straight
You can
there
see
as
it's come
well.
out the other side.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like that.
Scotland can ignore that. Come around the guard, lie 2.
Is there an ideal spot for Naomi Brown's rock?
Yeah, Naomi wants to sit top tee.
7, 8, 6, 7.
So 79% at her first Women's Worlds for
7, 8.
Yeah, we're all there.
Okay,
overall
back onto
tournament
this one.
accuracy.
Still nothing for line.
I think we're there, but
Whoa.
yeah, we're there on the time.
Whoa.
Nothing for line.
Check curl or?
Yep.
Yep, she's sitting sixth.
Okay, that's
Okay.
fine.
And the stats of third players.
Top 8.
So again, the Swedish third, 86% for the week is the highest stat.
And
Nice.
Sarah's at 72%.
Pretty good. Top 8. Top 8. Top 8. Line's good. 7. Just top
Struggling
8.
a bit in the early goings of this tournament. Sarah's
really
had
running.
several games that are
Might be
very strong of late.
Down to the back one. Yeah.
Pretty heavy.
To it. To
Tay.
it.
Tay.
To it.
All there.
Go, Tay.
All there. Go, Tay.
Good call.
Good.
14, 2, double check this.
That path, pretty quick.
So
Both
a bit
teams
length,
having
it's okay.
trouble managing the speed here.
And it is such a long week, 12 round robin games. To be consistent throughout the whole week, that takes so many hours of repetitive practice in a skill-based sport to be that consistent.
Yeah, so it takes tons of hours in the gym. And it also takes a mental fortitude and an emotional strength.
And this one's heavy again. And this is,
Okay.
both teams are throwing it heavy down this track. They're all using stopwatches,
Triple right
but there's no feedback coming back about the splits.
There, we finally got one.
Okay.
What did I throw?
Tolerance is still there, though, right?
Scotland do lie 4. So a key one here for
Nice weight.
Sarah Anderson to
Real tight.
really
Top 8.
outcount all these Scottish
Weight's
stones.
good.
Ideally sit top
Line
tee,
good.
buried.
Top 8. Gotta be full 8. Yep.
The stone
Yep.
curling hard as weight's
Go,
coming
go, go,
off
go,
it.
go.
Just misjudged,
All right, Sarah.
and USA clips that corner
Yeah.
guard.
The sweepers thought she was 8 foot, but I don't think it was there. So what a chance for Scotland now to really pile the pressure on. If they can put this one,
Are you getting a full
Top
body or
tee.
a half body here?
needs to be top tee.
And by top tee, you mean above that center line, bisecting the scoring area.
Yes.
Yeah. Nice and big for this store, yeah.
They don't want it too short because
Probably more,
USA can just come around it.
It's not disastrous.
I thought that as well, yeah. Leaving her
Safer
half
doing
out's
that
okay.
then.
Do you like that ice then?
Yeah, I like that. Looks nicer.
Quite quick then, really.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, yes.
like 14-6.
Yeah, 46 spot on.
Lines a touch inside. 5-6.
So 66% for Sophie Jackson for the tournament.
Hard line.
Top skip Anna Hasselberg at 81% for the week. We need to get this past.
Really hard. Keep going. Keep going.
Go.
Good.
Okay, so
Well sweat.
it was good, eh?
Just
It was-
rubs
yeah,
it,
it was
so it
perfect.
allows
It was good.
USA to
Yeah,
come around
yeah,
that.
more ice. It was really good, actually.
The sweepers doing everything they can to hold the line on this stone all the way down the ice, and it just clips the guard out in front of the ring.
Okay, so
Well sweat.
It does spin on.
it was good, eh?
Scotland's
yeah,
got
it-
a fistful in and around the 12-foot.
Sorry, guys.
Well, they're certainly in a good position to force one. But USA, they can still make a skip's juice here by coming around this guard. It's not a guard, but the front ring guard that Sophie has just played.
Looks like
Yep.
Jamie
Can't hurt
can
Line's
zoom around it.
Top 8. Line's good. Top 12. Top 4.
Sweepers are on this right away.
Top 4.
you gotta go, man.
Just top 4.
Got room past the top one. Is it going to bury?
Yep. Go.
Oh, it was a great weight but just didn't bury.
Do you like half or less?
We go back line.
A miscommunication there from the sweepers.
As we take a look at Sheet A, Latvia and Korea.
Korea lying 1, top of the 4 foot. Latvia has got last stone. Chance for 2.
This is Iveta Stasa Sarsunne.
So many close games this week.
Trying the double takeout here.
Oh, good effort. But it's a steal of 1 for Korea. They now lead 2-1 after 3 ends.
So in our feature game, Sophie Jackson does not have the easiest hit. The stone's wide open, but there is a lot of traffic in the back of the rings.
Whoa! It's good! No!
She trying to cross and get to the inside.
No, 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 no!
She's close.
Okay, that's fine.
Oh, but just stuffs it on the back one.
She could just have peeled that out.
You shouldn't have jumped then, it would have been perfect.
Yeah, it would have been absolutely perfect. Could you have ever gone that way?
Yep.
Right there? The back line?
She kind of
So,
set hers a little
first
bit.
opportunity of the game for a 2.
He's looking for backline, I think.
Okay.
Jamie Sinclair just wants to tap that yellow back and hold her shooter.
I like it.
It's a nice speed here.
So she's going to throw about the same weight that Sophie Jackson just threw. Hit maybe half of that yellow stone.
Yep, as long as it misses the back red. Even if it jams on the other yellow, it won't matter. USA would still lie 2.
It's the last stone. And it's our first chance for a multiple point score. Jamie Sinclair in the 4th end.
Solid hack. Close, yes. Whoa! Whoa! Nice. Good. Nice shot.
And USA just holds the shooter. Navigates past their own stone in the back.
Great.
USA takes 2 points here in the 4th end.
Close, but good call.
They've got a 1-point lead.
Yeah,
It's
I just knew
3-2.
we had to score 1.
Scotland has the last stone when we play 5.
I got 11-5. Did you hit the stick on that? Just curious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it
could
curled.
be a hair positive.
Oh, okay. So it curled. I thought that was max broom. That's what I'm wondering. Just based on your draw, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Close for
I
the
think it's
center.
just the 4-foot line. 4 foot. Yeah. Great.
good. No, it's like.
Just gotta pick one, guys.
3. Go finish it. Go.
Nice and tight. Good.
Nice.
USA takes 2 points and that 1-point lead. We're in the 5th end. It's session 18. We've had a fairly defensive game throughout. Scotland is attempting a tick shot here. And hitting it a little thick and a little square means it's a violation of the free guard zone rule. Stone goes back as if one was never played.
Just a bit more. You got it. You've been throwing great weight. I'm good. A little more. 4, 5.
Line's good. 6.
Room. 5, 5, 6. Sarah's not.
USA,
Yeah, everybody, bring it 6, guys.
they're trying to draw around that
Gotta go,
rock.
man. Gotta go. Go, go, go.
Cooper's worked this the whole way down
Go,
the
go, 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 go.
ice, and they just get it in.
It's slow there, right? What? Doesn't it feel
So
slower
Scotland
there
not
than
calling
before?
for corner guard.
Yeah,
They're going
it
to
just feels
use
slow, like.
the centre guard and play. Sophie Sinclair just coming around.
And we'll take a peek at sheet C. It's our first look at Sweden-Canada. The reason it's the first look, they are 0-0. It's the final stone.
Sweden line 1 on the button. Anna Hasselberg attempting to navigate her way through the guards for 2. She has to bite the 1 foot. But there's a lot of granite out front to try and come around. Nope, given up on it already. That's on the top one. So it's a score of 1 for Sweden. Canada happy they've forced the 1 after 4 ends.
Nej, det var ju bara gaddefart nu. Den tappar ju allt när det var
Den kom ju in. Den kändes lite tajt liksom.
That matchup is so key. Sweden, they've already qualified, secured their spot in the semifinal.
Sorry about mine. It just doesn't feel that fast there.
They have a chance with a win to take Canada out of contention, a perennial powerhouse on the world curling stage.
Feels worse, yeah.
Yep.
Like I was saying, I guess
Sweden
my splits
qualifying
make
number
sense the
1
way they
is
went, but it just
an
doesn't
opportunity
feel
for Sweden to
really good the first end, yeah.
really eliminate, as you say, a top nation from the playoffs. It could be one of their opposition later on in the week, so it's a great opportunity right now to close the door for them.
Okay, Millie.
Yeah, taking a look at these standings, you can see Sweden at 9-1. Canada sitting back on the bubble. They are at 5 and 5. They really need 6 and 7 wins in order to secure their spot in post-round robin play.
4, 5.
And USA as well, they're on 5 and 5 here, so this is a must-win game for them.
6.
USA holds the tiebreaker on Canada, though. They won the head-to-head matchup.
Gotta go, Sarah.
4, 5.
Gotta go, Sarah.
Pass this one.
Go, go,
It would just depend how many countries finish level, whether the draw shot, if they've all beaten each other, then it's the draw shot challenge that will be used to separate the teams.
Nice shot.
So Millie Smith just opening up the front and trying to remove something behind as well.
She does pick off one of the stones and rolls to a corner guard.
Yep, good positioning.
Was that a wee bit narrow?
Do you like that at all? Or just come around?
My first thought was peel a guard.
Either that or peel the corner.
She's just caught it slightly thinner than she'd wanted, but does remove one red from play and give a
I
corner.
think the tap's easy.
I lean towards one of these. Okay, tap then.
All right, Sarah, just back 4, wait.
I think that's minimum broom.
Yeah, I'll be a little passive. Take your breath. You have time.
So take your breath. You've got a little time.
Good.
You've got to like when your teammate reminds you to run through your process completely.
Heavy. Yeah.
Yeah, the pre-shot routine that all the players do in the hack is so important.
Yeah, bumping to the back house.
You don't want to be rushing it.
Sorry, Jane.
Teams have 38 minutes of thinking time per game. There's plenty of time to play the 10 ends.
Yeah.
But they just have to keep their eye on the clock.
Unless we just do this.
It's usually the front end players' responsibility just to keep their eye on the clock running down and check that
Okay.
they have enough time.
Two. Yeah. Whoa. Yes.
So Naomi Brown going for the double on the top ones, takes one, but just pushes the other one to the wing. Great chance now for USA to come around top tee and pile the pressure onto Scotland.
And we will update you on Denmark, Finland.
Guard's great. here,
Finland
too.
lying 3 out on the 12-foot, all guarded. So Madeleine Dupont has to just draw the 8-foot.
Looks all there to be.
The pride of our host nation, Madeleine Dupont, trying to tie this game up in the 4th end.
Sweepers seem happy, just nursing it down. And she's played it perfectly. So that ties that game 3-all after 4. Denmark and Finland neither can make the playoffs. So playing for pride right now out there. Denmark are on 2 wins, Finland are on 2 wins. So a chance for Naomi to remove this counter and roll behind cover.
Roll behind the corner.
Stop.
Okay.
Oh, spins back into lie shot.
I know, so did I.
Nobody was tending to that one when it crossed the tee line.
Yeah, no one from USA was sweeping that stone.
It's us, right?
Oh, they're saying
That's
it's
what I
red.
thought, yeah. Do you like that? Or you like this?
I like this because if we go under, they're going to hit and roll under again.
They must be shot, huh?
Yeah.
To the wing.
Should move nicely here.
I think speed should be good here. Not as quick as this inside out, but maybe the same as LSD.
And when you don't have last stone, I like to come around the centre guard to the top 4 here.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Because if they
just-
come round
shot, but
and
it's
freeze that Scottish stone, Scotland will just come round and freeze on top of them. So it's an easier shot for
They did
Scotland.
once 2 ends ago when it
Whereas
really
if
ran the center line.
Jamie can bury around the centre guard, it's harder for Scotland to remove.
Yeah, and you'd think that Jamie, having just seen her third Sarah Anderson throw that counterclockwise shot under center, it almost got buried. They should know the line.
Little
Looks
hot.
hot, yeah.
Whoa. 8.
Stay close for
Taylor. 8.
Yep, mine.
9.
Heavy.
Whoa. 9. Whoa, Taylor.
Just 7.
Yep. Whoa.
7.
Whoa.
8. 8.
Close.
8. 7.
They can't afford to just nudge the Scottish stone back.
Yeah, that's fine.
Definitely lie to.
throw.
Potentially 3 if they had just tapped at another stone width, but
Really good gap.
Scotland can follow that now.
Good call. Great throw.
There's a well played shot.
Really liked your release there.
Yeah, that curl, that bend, left to right.
I'm glad I just tapped it.
You like that ice or more for this? Ireland did move a lot, but I think it looks like an okay.
Looks close to me.
Okay.
Sophie
14
just
and a half.
confirming
Yeah.
with her
Yeah.
front end that they're happy with the weight that they're discussing. Confirmation it's the right ice.
Yeah, we're heavy. Might come down.
Not moving yet.
70. Line's good. Not curling yet.
Not moving.
Let it move.
Moving now.
Let it move.
Line's good. If it
So you know from the hog in it really does pull,
Just for weight.
but it's high of line.
Yep.
Or no?
Good, so.
Super weight, just not the right line.
Great weight.
Okay, let's go.
So USA can remove both yellow counters here
It's good there.
and lie 4.
Can they move it because I was ramming it back. Who knows it fairly?
Yep. Just right here. Yeah, you watch. Yeah, I'll get the roll. Cool. And Sarah will get the yellow one. Firm? Okay. Right on nose. Okay. Hair high is okay too.
Yeah.
So a nose hit.
Should be pretty straight with weight. Yeah. Throw a good one.
In an ideal set of circumstances, can USA roll this shooter under the center? Is it possible, depending on weight?
Yeah, she's saying she's playing peel weight.
Firm? Yep. Yep. Whoa! 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 One!
That's gonna have to curl a bit if she wants to save the shooter.
Nice. Okay.
Ah,
That's
so splits out 2 of her own
I thought that
stones,
might curl a little,
but does lie 2, forces Scotland to their 1, which was
can't
the main objective for USA here. It would have been nice to lie 4.
It's always nice to lie 4 in the sport of curling. That would have put a ton of pressure on the young skip from Scotland.
She needs to be fully in the 8 foot.
No, I think similar is okay. Okay. I think you do it nice.
She's just played a drop, so I'm quite confident what T-weight is.
I think we're heavy.
Less, I think.
Line's good.
I think we're heavy.
7.
Should be close.
Wait only. Not curling yet. 7. Not curling yet. We're really hanging wide. 8. We're on the guard just now. Curling now.
the line's good.
We're good weight. Just for weight.
It's good.
Good. Nice. Nice.
Really well played.
One yellow.
Fantastic stone. Sophie Jackson lands her hammer in the 4 foot. We're tied 3-3 as these teams head into the break. trying to blank the second end. Sophie Jackson and Team Scotland throwing the up weight a little narrow, ends up taking a single point. And in the fourth end, opportunity for Jamie Sinclair and Team USA. A delicate hit and roll. She gets the hit. Does she hold the roll? She does. It's 2 points for USA.
Nice, great weight.
Some excellent rock placement by USA forces Team Scotland to draw full 8-foot for a single.
Line's good.
I think we're heavy. That's good. Good.
Sophie Jackson's rock comes to rest on the 4-foot. Looking at Latvia, Korea all tied up after the 5th. In the 6th, Denmark and Finland all tied up. Sweden holds a 1-point lead over Canada. In our feature game, 3-3.
Fine. There was.
Well, on my first one, I regret that.
Okay. All right.
Regret.
What?
Not hitting that little biter.
Yeah, you have a chance to just hit it and sit this far short of the
Right in
paint.
front of it.
Yeah, right.
It's like in the teeth, a wee bit slips and if you hit it right in the nose, you're like, oh.
My first one is moving, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I think the speed's alright.
Your first one?
I thought
It gets quite low, so I might start.
Yeah, I thought the speed limit was good. Yeah. But use it like.
I know it's handy actually.
These head-to-head percentages on the statistics, it is tight. Total percentage advantage to USA a little bit. The key stat that stands out, Scotland's draw percentage down near 73%. They're going to have to raise that for performance in the second half.
Are we still 3? Hard, 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 hard. 6. Hard, Naomi. Hard, gotta go. Go, 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 go.
Okay.
This is live coverage from the LGT World Women's Curling Championship 2019. We're in Silkeborg, Denmark. My name is Anne Swisshelm, and my co-commentator, Olympic champion Rhona Howie. We've gone through half this game, Rhona. It is a very tight affair. What needs to happen here in the second half for these teams?
Yeah, I definitely think now we're in the second half of the game. The teams with the hammer are going to play for their scores of 2. Although USA don't put up a corner guard there, they're quite happy to hit, which is surprising. That stone wasn't on the button.
Really positive.
Yeah, so we get the overall tournament accuracy versus this current game on the stat monitor.
Yep, Sophie's
Get there, Soph.
having a good game and a good week.
She is a little down from her average.
So now USA go to put up the corner. Wow, Mnica Walker's having a great game.
2, 3, 3.
You love to see those kind of numbers out of your lead, 98%.
No, it's running. Can't.
guard fairly close to the ring to be usable. That's really good there.
That's a super location.
So Scotland's goal for this end, they want to force USA to a 1. So they're going to put up the centre guard. Millie Smith, 85% for this game today. Millie's two brothers played for Great Britain in the Winter Olympics in Pyeongchang last year. And her father's a ex-world champion, so great curling stock in that family as well. She's got a lot to live up to in the men in the family.
Well, she is very much holding her own at her first Women's World Championship.
She certainly is.
And having the game of the week for herself is Taylor Anderson. 90%. You know, these percentages here at second might speak to kind of the basic play that we've had so far. The shots have been fairly straightforward for these players.
I thought my guard kind of did that too. Yeah. Right, it runs and then it curls.
And unfortunately, that missed shot there is going to hit Taylor's stat sheet, but that was a sweeping error.
Yeah, it was. And they acknowledged that. So a chance for Scotland here now to lie to and really make it difficult for USA to try and generate a 2. That's a lovely shot from Millie.
A nice roll into the center.
She never shows much emotion, Millie, very focused. Great team player.
Nothing yet.
Oh, unlucky. Taylor just stuffed that straight back. Some sweeping there, maybe could have split it.
No, she didn't say anything. Sorry.
Yeah, so Jamie Sinclair getting a little quiet, missing the sweep call.
Naomi Brown having a good game today, above her tournament percentage. This is looking pretty steamy though. Don't think it's going to stop. It's a real missed opportunity there.
That stone was almost all the way to the hack.
She must have thought it was going to break early. But it was like, well.
It's an opportunity for USA to make up for the miss from Taylor. Her sister throws a little bit extra weight on this one. You can see it come off her hand.
Sarah Anderson plays a lot of mixed doubles as well. Corey Dropkin. Just unlucky through the gap. Didn't make contact with either Scottish stone. So straight away Sophie Jackson says, let's get this corner off. The Scottish stone at the top of the 12 foot is still usable as a guard for USA to come around.
Okay.
Oh, and the shooter rolls to a corner guard.
Okay. Rubbish.
Oh, an opportunity now for Sarah Anderson to get either a hit and roll behind the corner or the double.
Yep.
Whoa. Yep. Yep.
Go, go, go. 10-6.
Yep. Good.
That was a sweeping error as well there.
Nice
They
shot,
watched
Sarah.
that and
Are they shot or we shot?
Their shot, but that's still a great shot.
Yeah.
could have got the double there.
Something to work with.
Yeah, USA's gotten a little quiet on the last couple of calls.
Oh my good one. Just one. Okay. Probably there.
Their skipper needs to get a little more active in the line calls, a little higher energy. An information share back and forth up the sheet of ice would really help USA at this point.
So a chance for Scotland just to split the house, lie 2.
Like T-line on edge of the forefoot. Okay. Back eight's okay, as long as we're touching forefoot fillet.
Yeah, so USA were trying to hope that that one had curled enough just to get the hit and roll.
Yeah.
But it wasn't going to, so miscommunication there. Sophie Jackson having a better game today, 80%, well above her tournament average.
5, 6. Hard, hard. 5. Hard is really good line. 7. Line's really good. 7. Line's really good. 7.
So just want this at the edge of the forefoot.
You're back, it's okay.
That's good there.
Good, so
Ah,
good.
well played.
Really nice.
Scotland lie 2.
Yeah, that is a nice shot. Now, for Team USA, they've got to look at it as, what is our best chance of putting 2 points on the board? They've got a little bit of a clever opportunity available to them out here on the wing. Can you hit and roll and put a second sit shot 2 and 3?
Yep, absolutely. To catch inside of that red.
Oh, they
So
still
lie 2, 3, force Scotland to make a shot. You can see there, they just need to catch off centre of that red.
Hit it low.
Their shooter will roll in.
Yeah.
I like this call.
Me too. Wonder what weight.
Yeah, and the whole reason, flashing back, the whole reason why USA's got to play this a little bit more clever
Okay.
or difficult shot is because they missed the sweep call.
Hit it low side. They both go. Yep.
And they have to force Scotland to make a harder shot.
Then a wide open draw.
Nose is okay too. Yeah, that's tolerance. Should be pretty straight out here.
Yeah. Nice firm. Whoa. Close. Whoa. Yeah. Whoa. 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 Roll it. Roll it. Roll it. Go, 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 go.
Great shot.
Good. Nice shot. I like.
Good wrong. Really nice, James.
That was a really well played shot.
I like that.
Great result. Puts the pressure onto Scotland now. Scotland going to draw the other side of the forefoot, and they're going to hit the red. Can probably only see half that red from the hack.
Yeah, so this is the kind of thing you were talking about, Rhona, upping the level of difficulty that Sophie Jackson and Team Scotland are facing.
Maybe a bit more for this one. Like the freeze? Do you like the freeze or do you like the run? I like the freeze.
We'll check in on Latvia and Korea on sheet A. Kim Min-ji, what's she got, Rhona?
The short run.
Kim Min-ji is lying 1 in the 8 foot. She's playing a thin double to try and get a multiple score. Needs to catch it quite thin on this top red to go over to the other red. Oh, is it going to push it enough? Oh, it doesn't. So it's just a 1 for Korea. So they lead 3-2 after 5. Sophie Jackson's going to freeze this red. Was the call. I liked T-line on the other side.
Yeah, I think really anywhere T-line count 1 and 2.
She's got to watch with the freeze that it just doesn't overcurl and she sits on top and not lie second shot.
Yeah, because then it's an open hit for two.
Yes, she has just made that well and not left a double.
That's a fantastic sweep. That kind of energy, that kind of communication up and down the sheet leads to a great shot from Sophie Jackson.
Yeah, brave call, but very well executed.
And Scotland's goal to force USA to a single point.
Just control. Okay.
They've done everything they can to do that. And with any kind of a mistake, Scotland could steal here.
Jamie Sinclair played a great first stone to try and set up the chance to get two. So just has to make a nose hit to take her one.
Easy. 11. Close. Yep. 11-5. Yep. Yep. Yes. Yes. Hard. Hard. Hard.
Trying to hold this. Is it going to sit? Naomi Brown trying to get it out, and it doesn't. Wow, a steal of one for Scotland.
That is the made shot from one skip, the missed shot from the other. Scotland takes the steal in 6 and a 1-point lead.
So inviting from down. Yeah, it did. I think we're just saying both shots had like turn preference.
Played the out turn.
Yeah.
Seemed to be okay. Both are nice.
Yeah, whatever you like.
Okay.
Line's good. 2.5. Just 2.5. Let him do. 2.5. 3.
No, then. Don't want to be too tight.
Quite tight, but
Just let it stop.
good, so
15-7.
Scotland set up a wonderful steal in the 6th end. And they open the 7th with a centerline guard. Is it time for both these teams to go for it?
2.5. Room. Let her get off the center line. 2.5. 2.
Yeah, USA need to get some corner guards in play, get stones in behind cover. Try and force errors out of Scotland.
And in the end of the 6th end, doubles galore have happened. Canada's got the last rock.
And Canada line 1, draw for 2, first 2 of the game. It's a must-win game for Chelsea Carey and the Canadian side. They're sitting on 5 and 5 just now. So a chance for Canada to take the lead over Sweden. Sweden already qualified in top spot for the playoffs. Sweepers just nursing this down. Very well played. A score of 2 for Canada. They lead 2-1 after 6.
I agree with everything. I thought it was a little less extension than draw to the button. When you said that, I was like, good. Okay, I agree. So I just didn't say it.
And Sophie Jackson has made a wonderful draw around the center for Team Scotland.
Back line! Wait. Back line! Whoa! Whoa!
Yep, typical lead set up.
Close. Yep.
Corner guard up, centre guard, and come around.
Whoa.
USA now try and follow.
Taylor! Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Good draw round by Sophie, and Monica's
Nice shot, nice.
played also a great shot, just tapping that back to the back of the forefoot.
Good sweep, guys.
That's a very key control position set up by USA.
Sorry to be panicky about the sweep. I just feel like she's kind of drained it.
That's a really good spot.
Good sweep.
No, yeah, I didn't want to hear anything.
Yeah.
Nothing for Lloyd. 7. 7. 7. Running a lot just now. Keep going. 8. 9. We're right to
So
your
Millie
right.
Smith just
8.
looking
We're
to
bumping, I think.
come and
No.
half check the red, but it's a bit speedy. It's going to come right back to their own and leave a pocket.
Okay, Millie.
Oh, and there's her father and mother in the back row, Dave Smith, ex-world champion, and in front, Norman Brown, Naomi's dad. So the Scottish fans are on their toes this week, very nervous in every game, but being a great support to the youngsters.
Scottish fans travel well in the sport of curling.
Go ahead, I think line.
They like a party.
Every major event, you will see lots of Scottish cheering.
So Millie Smith coming deep. It's allowed the chance for USA to come in and freeze, but an error there from Taylor Anderson, catching the top guard.
Not the worst mistake, as that nice down weight opens up the center and rolls under the corner. And the Scottish fans are not alone in the stands. Quite a few Yanks have crossed the pond to cheer on their team.
With very fancy Team Sinclair hoodies. So just, Sophie's called Naomi down to the head just to discuss this.
And as they discuss, checking in, Latvia trailing Korea by a single point as they play the 6th. Finland's taken the lead over Denmark, and they are in the 7th. Canada, we saw that too. It's maybe a very pivotal score here in the 7th end. Sweden's one down with the hammer.
So, do you like the freeze or the guard? Sorry?
I like the half check on the red here. Or they could tap the red back and roll, but I like the half check on that top red. Makes it very difficult for USA to move.
So sitting just in front of the red stone, kind of on the corner of it.
Just exactly where Sophie put her brush there. So they've changed their mind. They were going to put out the guard, but they've now called that corner freeze on the red. I like this call.
So she just played this line. It was a little heavy the last time she played it. She's got to make the weight adjustment to sit higher up in the rings. Sweepers are right off.
Yeah, that's not the result they were looking for. It now gives USA a very big target. That was one, if you are going to go for the half check freeze, you're just you err on the shorter side rather than the upside.
Yeah. And you hear the athletes talk a lot about tolerance or the pro side of a shot. And the pro side of that shot was 5 or 6 feet short.
I like that. I don't think you need to, though.
No. Do you just want to hit
We just wanted to look at it because
Just want to roll to
yeah,
here.
from down there, it's like let's just blast it.
You
but-
could.
Yeah.
I like blasting it, I think.
I mean, your shooter's gone.
I think we for sure want to get these.
I mean, if you don't peel just off nose, right?
Then the one's not going out of the rings.
Can we just do this double and stick?
That's what I was calling, yeah.
Okay, I just didn't know that.
Yeah. Okay. So
Yeah,
what's
just
the
this.
call? Just firm.
I was thinking just normal.
Normal.
There is a treble and roll behind the guard.
Yeah, so USA taking some time to come together, discuss the shot, make sure everyone knows what the goal of the shot is. USA definitely seems to be having some communication challenges right now. So that is a wise use of their thinking time.
Normal up, firm. Close, firm. Whoa, whoa.
So do get all 3 stones moving, but don't remove them all. However,
Great shot, Faye.
the roll behind the corner is a great result.
We get a look at this. 1, 2, 3. Everything moving off the forefoot.
Yeah, a wee bit more sweeping on that. Scotland having a confab now.
Yeah, they are considering using their timeout.
USA do just lie 1,
Wait
but
till there. How is it really
they've
held?
got 3rd and 4th shot.
And everything is under a guard somewhere. There's a lot of control. You can feel USA setting up a big score.
Yep, Scotland have called a timeout. They'll get Tom Brewster down for words of wisdom.
Seven's still sticking around.
What's that? Is that back yellow just now, is it?
It's
Show over
second.
this? Yeah, it's second.
Yeah.
Okay, unless you freeze that.
Yeah.
I like that.
There's more, yeah. You couldn't throw
Can you ever
like
get
a bump on this.
around here? That's tough,
Nah.
We'll listen in to Tom Brewster and his discussion.
It's this one that's killing you.
Yeah.
It's killing you. You got to make the run back.
Okay.
Try and stick it. If you're slightly high, it's coming into this. You've got to go for a shot now. Even if you don't, it's going to leave you a double, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But you've just got to go for it.
Okay.
There's not a lot much else because of the curl. I mean, the other shot's to freeze it, but you ever bounce off it like you did. You know, that one's always going to hurt you.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Huh? Normal? Yep. It's just slightly high of nose is good, but okay. Even nose.
So knowing the situation is difficult, it requires an extraordinary shot for Team Scotland.
Yep, Naomi Brown just going for the run back on their own yellow. onto the shot stone. Hopefully run it back, stick it and lie two. But this is curling. Oh, just misses it and leaves a centre guard.
That may be the key saving grace for Scotland. There is a center guard. USA is likely going to ignore it.
Yeah, because USA can remove that second shot now. And lie four.
Sorry, you said normal, right?
Oh, just misses that back red.
Not for lack of effort.
They swept it from the word go.
Was a power sweep all the way down.
Control. Clean. Clean. It's a little wide. Whoa. It's a little wide. Whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Off, off, off. Whoa, whoa, off, off. Whoa, whoa.
Sweeper standing back here.
It's good weight. Good.
Yeah. Hits and runs.
I like that.
USA lie three.
And that's an okay shot to roll out on back there.
Me too.
As you climb higher in the rings, Scotland could have gotten a roll. Set back four.
Run again or freeze the corner.
Yep, set up good for USA right now. Scotland can come around, but they have to be careful here. They don't want to go right round because there's an easy tap up on the red for USA. So they want to position this in a way that
kind of right next to the USA
yes,
stone.
Yes.
I think we're like. Line's good. Four. Hard, Dad. Five. Hard. Hard.
So sweeping this hard for line.
And they're going for weight. This looks light. Do they have it around? Oh,
they're
they
passed.
do.
What a sweep. Not too far though.
Keep going. Go.
Nice, Naomi.
That was a phenomenal sweep, but they've actually taken it too far. It's easier now for USA to raise.
Yeah, here you go. You see it.
Yeah, Smith and Sinclair really working hard. But they wanted to stop it just there.
And you can see now the angle. USA's got the angle directly in.
Yeah, just took it too far.
Forward.
Sarah Anderson has to make it, but it's easier for her.
Hack is tight. They're by the guard.
Nice.
Yeah, and Scotland just set that up for them. Great shot from Sarah Anderson.
Good job. Was that four?
So now Scotland are in trouble. Lying four against.
Are we? Yeah. They're both the same weight.
Scotland's got that same draw that they just threw.
Here, more.
Yeah, they swept that really well past the guard. Yeah, I think Sophie can right now try and come in and be second shot, freeze that red, follow Naomi Brown's line and just freeze the top of that red.
Pretty gradual, eh? If she's corner frozen, not shot, what do you like?
So already Jamie Sinclair saying to Sarah, okay, if she's corner frozen, lying second shot, what do you want to do?
If she makes this, do we peel the guard? Depends where she is. Or like try to run the guard?
Oh, yeah.
I'm not sure. We'll see.
Yeah.
This is kind of late to peel the guard. I think I'd go for it with a hack waiter.
I guess we'd play it cute today.
Leave it more.
Line's good. 5-6. Line's good. Line's good.
So for you young skips out there, Sophie Jackson, Let's Go Over Rock, and says big extension gives great input to her sweepers. Helps them judge the weight better. We look in live, Sweden, Canada.
Sweden lying one.
Okay.
Anna Hasselberg, a draw for two.
Okay.
Or is she playing the hit for two?
It's the ice for both. Looks like the draw is the shot selection.
Yeah, it is. So a great answer back after Canada's 2 at the last end. Team Sweden, very strong performance this week so far, and they're making this draw for 2. Perfectly played. So Sweden now lead 3-2 over Canada after 7. Remember, Canada in their must-win game to keep their playoff hopes alive.
And Sweden would dearly love to eliminate Canada from playoff contention. One less great team that they'd have to face. Sophie Jackson's draw, we talked about that big extension before we went over and checked on Sweden, Canada, and it was a little too much of an extension. Her stone drifted into the back of the rings.
Top 8.
And Sophie's got quite a big bend in her elbow, so when she extends to play, that elbow's coming through the stone.
And adding a little momentum. Sometimes it's a professional way to release the stone. You'll see Jamie has an ad here. There is the extension, there's the ad. We're gonna get the rock clock on this shot, see the speed of the ice. This week we've been seeing 14-6, 14-8 to tee.
This is hanging wide. Oh, just passes the guard. Trying to take it right back. They didn't want to leave Scotland a hit and roll.
Yeah, so
Scotland flirting with danger here. They don't have last stone.
So USA here is trying to hold the line to tick that shot.
They knew it was heavy.
Sorry, I thought we were. No, we just gotta go.
Good call, though.
What'd you have? 4-12.
So Scotland don't have last stone. They're facing 4
Yeah, or thin off of the reds, too.
US counters.
It's like right on, buried on the button. Yeah. I think we just play that.
Yeah. Would have been better.
So can Sophie Jackson make the adjustment?
Yeah, maybe.
So now Scotland have left a shot for USA.
It is a
for
shot
a 6.
for 6. USA has taken a 5. They took that on Canada.
Probably closer to a 10.
6 would be the most points scored by any team in a single end at this event.
Close to a 10.
Okay. I'm leaning towards the hair more.
Yeah, you've played this path a bunch and it's always curled up, right?
Make a hair more.
Nose is good.
Yeah.
What kind of way do you throw it?
Control.
I like that.
Might be close to a 10.
All right, throw a good one, Jamie.
Last stone.
10.
Relatively open takeout.
Easy. No.
It is floating a little bit. They're trying to make this curl. And they get it. It is 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points on the board for USA. What an end for the team from the States. USA fans cannot get enough of this. We'll watch it 3 times. It's 6.
Let's keep the focus up.
Try to get
That
a
line
force
score,
here.
flip it a little bit.
So they're going to go 2 corners for sure.
Yeah.
I think at 5, I think we put them all in the rings, right?
I don't even mind throwing them through.
Yeah.
Kitchen sink.
Yeah. Guard each side.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
so.
Yeah, it's really frustrating, but it just needs to go on
Just
the
tax it, yeah.
Just finish.
Right.
I don't throw.
Little light. I think it's pretty good. Line good. Take a look. Lots of rotation. Lots of rotation. 6. It's running. Lots of rotation. 6, 7, 7.
Just 6. Line's good. Coming down.
8. 8. 9. Easy. No, it's okay. 8.
No. Sorry.
You're watching live coverage from the LGT World Women's Curling Championship 2019. We are at the Silkeborg Sports Center in Silkeborg, Denmark. And if you are a fan of the United States, you are pretty thrilled with what happened in the 7th end. USA took 6 points and they have a 9-4 lead on Scotland as we're playing the opening stones of the 8th end. Rhona, what can Scotland do to bounce back from that large score and the deficit on the scoreboard?
Yeah, they just need to put up corner guards, try and get stones in play. The last end, they just played too many half shots and USA capitalized time and time again. And they were heavily punished. They're 5 down, there's 3 ends to go. Try and get a 3 back here.
Why is USA taking their own stone out of the rings?
So USA came back to that could be a friend for Scotland. They could use that to freeze on. So they just decide, we're going to get rid of it, keep it open. They don't want stones in play.
And the battle at Leeds, it's been pretty extraordinary, but the edge to Mnica Walker.
Yeah, definitely. Monica's had a fantastic game today, 98%.
Level with this one. Not moving.
And it's not often Leeds get to play a hit, but she just got to hit her own stone. So Scotland just need to keep persevering, put the corner guards up.
Okay. Good there.
Try and get stones in behind the cover. And with the new 5-rot rule, USA aren't able to remove either of these corner guards yet. So it's given Scotland the chance to get 2 up and get round one of them next.
Yeah, and USA will use this opportunity to try and place a rock in the top of the forefoot.
Yeah, the one at the back was no good for them, so try and put this one top 4. Control the top of the button.
4, 7, 6. Great judge.
And Taylor Anderson really coming into her own in this game.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, that's a great shot.
Just fixed it. It was a bullet.
Scotland will just ignore it. Come around now. So Millie Smith playing the intern come around. She was just heavy with both her draws at the last end. Can she correct it here? Really good shot. In behind cover. Straight away USA go to remove the guard. See
Millie really having a nice game today.
Yeah. Just above Taylor Anderson, there's not much in it. But for our first World Championships, Millie really has performed very well. Oh, and there's an error from USA. They were lucky they caught the one out the house. They were going for the guard.
Still good.
So Scotland will try and get a better one round.
So a change of stones there.
Is that a bit less ice? Or?
Millie's going to throw the yellow ones instead of the red ones.
So just trying to bury this behind the cover.
It's got to hang on to the back of the rings.
Okay, Millie.
And it just does. I think USA's plan shouldn't change much.
No, they're just trying to clear the guards out of play. They are 5 up in the game. They do not need stones in play.
Big. Yep. Oh. Yep.
Are they close? Do they have the double peel?
Close. Fine.
They push the other guard into the ring, so there's no guards out front.
A bit unlucky on that angle, or do they need to sweep?
They were just going for the single peel, but the double peel was there. Remove both guards, put the play in the rings. Good guard from Naomi.
Go look at it? See how close they are? I think you just peel it still. Okay.
Naomi's dad's competed at 3 World Men's Curling Championships, winning 2 bronze and 1 silver.
Oh. It's fine.
So big weight take out here to peel the guard.
Does she get?
Oh, sorry.
She clips the one in the rings.
When things are working for you, they work for you.
Good job. Sorry about that. Biggest man. It's good. It's big. Okay.
I think we have to do it.
Yeah. I think they just hit the open one if we do that. Yeah, I know. They're just going to hit the open one if we do that. I don't like that. It's just an easy one. I think go to the leg, because then you're splitting the rings. Okay? Yeah.
Do you ever like freeze and then sort of tap that one back tee, that one in the center line?
Nah. If you leave it double. Then they've got double.
I know.
Okay.
So after looking through a lot of the options, Rhona, what do you think of the decision made to freeze on the back one?
Yep, I like this. They need to get separation between their yellow stones. But if they can freeze the back one, it'd be harder for USA to remove it.
We're high a
Taking a look at Sweden, Canada. Sweden sitting 1 and 2.
Yeah. Anna Hasselberg really putting the pressure onto Canada, forcing Canada to draw for 1. Chelsea Carey. The centre is open. She just needs to bite the forefoot.
Be nice to roll to middle, and long roll is pretty good too.
Needs to tie up the game here.
Nose with control. Okay.
Sweepers
Oh, my
seem
way's
quite
okay though,
happy,
right?
just nursing it down.
Yeah. I just don't want to give him an easy double. Okay. Deep. Nice, Charles.
Jeez. I'm down a little more.
Yep.
Yeah, it did.
Bites a forefoot. Score of 1 for Canada. Ties it up 3-all after 8. Chelsea Carey's had her struggles this week, but the last few games, she's turned it around.
Coming on strong. And USA still holding strong in this game.
Who's cleaning? Whoa. 10-1. You're good. Nice.
They need to hang that shooter on. Did they hold the shooter for second count?
Good throw.
It's close. Maybe the yellow. I'm not sure from this angle.
Wow, and what a battle at skip. So tight. This is when you can get how statistics do not tell the story of the game. You've got skips who are throwing similarly in accuracy as judged by straight misses and makes, but when you're talking about which shot they make, when they make it,
It is, you know, stats are numbers, and it's making the key shots at the right time that matter. You could play 50% in a game, but if you draw the button to win the game, that's the shot that matters. That's the stat that counts.
yeah, the only stat that really counts is the win-loss column. And both of these teams really needing wins.
Just trying to come around this shot stone at the top of the 4. Trying to bury in behind it. Does lie second shot.
Really lovely shot.
Really nice throw. You got this.
Jamie Sinclair is going to attempt the double.
You got it. About half. Okay. The double is a bonus, but just make this one go. Yeah. Let's try to roll over for a second. Yeah. Yeah. Easy peel. Okay.
Yep, Sophie Jackson's team guarded as long as they could at this end. Sarah Anderson splitting open both corner guards.
Yeah, and get the
house is wide open.
The fortunate roll to pick off the one in the back.
That works. Nice. Good.
So
Smart call. I like that. Yeah.
USA just lie 1, top of the 4. Sophie Jackson can play tap back
Yeah, I was gonna. I didn't really bother.
for 2.
No, sorry. No, it's fine. That works. Nice.
That move, I thought it might move there a little bit.
Good.
Especially from my end. Yeah, like that ice is good.
The way this game started,
Pretty close.
1-1-1.
Yeah, would you like taking a touch more? I think
So unpredictable, leading to the
I think that looks nice for Barry.
score of 6 for Team USA. And fighting as hard as possible, Team Scotland. needing a hit and roll. They've got to stay in the 8-foot, navigate their own stone in the back.
They're on this the whole way. It's pulling to the center line. Can't afford to jam it. Oh, very well swept. Does it stay for second shot?
It is 2 yellow.
Get in.
Fantastic sweep for Scotland. They pull within 3, and we'll be back for the 9th end.
Yeah. Yeah. Try and steal. Yeah. So double center.
So one first? Okay.
Yeah. 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 So we know the one then. It's going to be really restricted.
Yeah, I will curl maybe a little at the end with Myra.
It's running a bit.
No. Should be good. Should be there.
Line's
One,
good.
two, one.
Line's good.
Just one.
Good. Nice, Soph. Good, Soph. Nice throw.
Kind of like the other turn, Jamie. Sharp.
This is the World Women's Curling Championship. USA has a 3-point lead on Scotland. This is the 9th end. Both of these teams are in must-win scenarios overall.
Oh, line. Oh, back line. Oh, hack. Close. Pull up.
Scotland has a significant deficit to overcome.
So Monica Walker tried a tick there.
It's good weight. Yeah. Perfect weight.
That tick shot, it is a critical weapon in the 5-rock free guard zone. You can not remove that yellow stone from play if you are USA, but you can move it around.
Line's good. Really cool. 3, 3, 4. No, then. No. Line's good.
Scotland just have to junk up the front here. Try and go for the steal.
Needs to move.
Really tight just now.
Okay. Just when you can.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, no, yep.
Hard. Hard. Really nice.
Two
Soph.
good guards
Really good,
from
Soph.
Sophie Sinclair. So one closer to the rings. USA will try and just split in.
A little more weight. A little more.
Throw the same shot as she threw the last time, and she should tick the one in the back. Running a little wide.
Oh, straight, straight, yeah, 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 yeah.
It's got less weight than the last one,
Good.
but that's a super shot. As we look around the rink, Latvia and Korea all tied up at 4 as they play the 8th. Denmark and Finland tied up as they play the 9th. Sweden, Canada tied up as they play the 9th. The only game with a little bit of space on the scoreboard. United States up by 3 in our feature game over Scotland. Scotland trying to get something going here.
Yeah, they just have to keep putting up the guards, trying to force an error out of USA.
It's a stop for line.
Yeah. 4-5 even.
Nah, we're 4, I think. It's a stop.
Stop.
Okay.
Okay,
fine there.
I think just easy peel. Let's go, Tay.
Yep, USA will keep peeling the long one. Scotland will keep replacing it. And then Scotland will come around with Sophie's last stone. That's the plan.
And if anything goes awry for United States, Scotland will try and steal a couple of points.
Oh, okay. That's changed the plan already.
Well, you were anticipating all of the players making their shots.
Correct.
And that shot by Taylor Anderson, over curling and holding the shooter there along the center lines.
Just because you've been down it.
So the double guard now, Scotland coming around. They've got to watch where this is placed because there is an in off the yellow on the wing to the forefoot. So this one ideally we want just to see it probably top 4.
Top 4, fully under cover.
So Millie Smith wants to put this top of the button. Oh, what a cracking looking shot. Fantastic draw from Millie Smith.
14-9.
Okay.
Still very focused Millie, shows no emotion on the ice.
Very steady player. Now Taylor trying to clean up a little bit her first shot.
So Scotland want just to replace a long guard, try and keep distance between them so it's not an easy double peel.
Good job.
So after Millie Smith's great draw, Naomi Brown gets to guard.
Line's good.
Clean it should be close.
1, 2. Wait, Ollie. Needs to curl.
2, 9.
No, just keep going.
Okay.
1. Hard. Hard. Go, 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 go. Go, 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 go. Hard, hard, hard. Go, go, go.
Trying to pull that as far as they can onto the center line.
Well sweat.
Is it just the single or? Yep.
All of
I mean,
these
if you
players
can't
out
plan,
here,
it's fine,
so
but
athletic,
just
the
straight
sweeping, so powerful.
Oh. That's good. Good.
So just a single peel for Sarah Anderson.
Nice shot. Good one.
Setup looking good for Scotland to steal a point. Is there a time where they'll, when they're gonna put another one around that top 12, they could really use a steal of 2 here.
Yeah, quite happy to guard with Naomi's at the moment.
For 3.
Just stay close.
And maybe when it gets to Sophie's last stone, they'll have a look at the situation.
Good, Naomi. Nice.
That one's come slightly further up. A better chance now for USA to remove 2.
Take your time on this, Sarah. You got it. Think tolerance.
So USA is going for the double peel here.
Yep. Oh, roll it.
Yeah, well played. Left the red guard just off centre line, but it's removed both yellows. Just with Scotland bringing that guard slightly further up, allowed the double peel.
They were close to picking the one off the button. Hold the line a little bit, and all 3 stones were going.
So that does block the intern draw for Jamie Sinclair. Sophie will try and block the outturn side now.
Sophie, you want to pass that red?
Yeah.
Yeah. Naomi quite like long is the double red card, but I don't know, I feel like if it's long then she can get come around it, yeah. Where are we going then? 3? 3, okay. Like past the red. We can't run the red in as well, so it's like half over. Okay. Do I touch less, or do you think that's good? Okay.
That stone is so good that Millie Smith played for positioning in the house. Sophie doesn't want to take this too close that Jamie Sinclair can run it back and lift that one off the 4 foot.
I think we're just 2.
Line's good. 2, 3. 3.
So the numbers are calling.
Oh, let it move.
2's halfway between Hog and House. 3's close to the rings.
Needs to stop.
Right up, the
No,
tight.
it just needs to stop. Just stop.
And this is coming too far.
Okay, get there.
Still there, it guards it. But it's an easier shot for Jamie Sinclair.
And we'll look over at Latvia versus Korea. That game all tied up. A super critical game for Korea as they still have hopes of making the semifinals directly out of the round robin.
So Korea are lying 1. Kim Min-ji has got a draw for 2. She angled that back at release there. Needs to get this to draw off the guards. Trying to make it curl. Is it going to come through the port? Is she off the guard? Oh, just rubs it. And the shooter comes in for 2. Key score there for Korea. 6-4 lead over Latvia after 8. Korea on 7 wins, Latvia only on 1 win this week.
Latvia's played almost every game down to the wire, very tough. Not a lot of W's in the column, but lots of hope for Latvia. And hope still alive for Scotland here. The run back misses the stone in the top of the button.
So close. Nice throw.
It does open things up. So close. Here you go. Feathered by the shot stone on top of the button.
It in just so it's biting, or I quite like biting. Yeah, similar place last time. Okay.
Biting's not bad, Naomi. I quite like that.
Yeah, so where they were the last times,
Yeah, should
pretty good.
Yeah, that would be a great shot.
It just forces USA, you know, if you're lying 3, it just gives them a bit more pressure in their head.
Faster slide, yeah.
They hit and run out, you could steal a 2.
Line's good.
No.
4.
No.
3, 4. Whoa. 4. Let it come down.
Running,
4, 5.
Just wants to bite the 12 foot, doesn't want to be any further in and leave a double.
Just for a bite.
Just a bite.
No more. No. Whoa. Stop. No. No.
Okay.
Yep,
Okay.
good result there.
Yeah, plenty good. That stone,
That's fine there.
USA cannot afford
staying in. We don't
Yeah,
need to
just
roll a
gotta stay in
button.
the 8. Yep.
We honestly like the nose on, like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't even bother, I don't think.
I mean, it's there.
Yeah, it's for sure
I think normal.
So the teams provided their input.
I just want to roll out.
I think that normal is good.
I think we just
I'll make sure you
let them
stay.
have one,
Yeah.
and that's fine.
You got it.
Yeah, up to width. It's actually better than taking one, don't you think?
Yeah. James, what if we let them take one? Because then we'll have hammer in the last.
I know.
Yeah.
Just normal.
Yeah, you got it.
So the team sounds concerned that their skip's going to go for the double. And if you miss the double, you give up 2. And that's a pretty big swing there.
The stones are virtually level.
Yeah, there's no need to go for the double. If someone had told you at the start of this game you'd be up by 2 with the hammer coming home, are you interested?
2, right? I am.
Yeah.
Wall. Solid.
The shooter needs to stay here for USA.
Nice.
Nose will do it. Good shot from USA. It is a steal of a single point for Scotland.
Great throw, man. Or James. Nice job.
They're going to need to steal again.
I know it's tough, but
They need to steal 2 in the 10th to tie it up and force the extra end. United States has 9 and the hammer as we head into the 10th.
I think we do the same thing. I think we play 2 ticks.
I like it.
Try to get the shooter out. And then we just
You're watching coverage of United States versus Scotland from the LGT World Women's Curling Championship 2019 in Silkeborg, Denmark. United States 9, Scotland 7. United States has the hammer. Monica Walker gets the tick shot this time. Will Scotland guard the guard? I know it's high.
They want to bring this guard as far around that other one as they can to try and bury it.
Monica Walker, she gets to peel that stone she just threw. We've talked about the free guard zone. She can't remove any of the opposition rocks, but she can remove her own, and that she does. Super shot. We'll take a look over at Sheet C and the action between Sweden and Canada. It's all tied up 3-3.
And Anna Hasselberg got a hit for 2. Chelsea Carey tried to come round and freeze, but just left it slightly open so that Anna can tap it back here. Sweepers working this hard. Can they pass? Yes, they hold it perfectly. Score of 2. Sweden lead 5-3 going in to the 10th end. Chelsea Carey with the hammer in a must-win game for them.
And our feature sheet, Millie Smith makes an excellent guard. Just over the hog line, stacking 2, one on top of the other. Taylor Anderson is going to look for the double peel. Single peel would be fine.
Yep, just takes the top one off. Taylor's had a good game today. Both second players have. Millie Smith has as well.
Is that the side? No? No, I think that's not the same. More, I think. Line's good. One. Whoa, 1, 2. Okay.
Millie Smith's father has got 7 world medals.
Stop for line. Yeah.
One of them gold.
2. Stop. Okay.
So now that she's had her first taste of world championships, she'll be wanting back to get medals in her collection.
Well, she's got one. She's got a silver medal from the World Juniors. She's got a ways to go to get to 7.
Yeah, she's still young, just 21 this month, so a few years left in her yet.
But what inspiration.
Oh, and they take the one out the house. Great shot from Taylor Anderson.
Yeah, you're allowed to smile here. That's a super shot. Monica describes it as a sick shot. Sick meaning something so good.
Line's good. 1, 2. Line's good. 2.
So Naomi just looking to replace that long guard. They've just got to keep plugging away with the guards.
Yeah, the jobs for both teams are quite clear, aren't they? One wants the guards up, the next wants them gone.
And by USA clearing the ones out the house as well, it's very difficult for Scotland to lie too guarded at this stage when there's nothing in the house.
Clean, sorry. It's okay. You're good. Good.
It's a different tact when you need to with the hammer, but when you don't have the hammer, you're really hoping for opposition mistakes.
Yeah, Scotland has to have a mistake out of USA.
Faster kick. Yeah, way faster kick. 2. Whoa. 2. Let it stop.
That's near perfect placement on the guard from Naomi.
Jamie Sinclair just picking a bit of dirt off the ice. Doesn't rule fully out of play, but off the centre, which is the key.
Yeah, it rolls fairly wide and is pretty high in the field of play.
So Scotland need 2 to peel the game. They have to come around now.
Yeah, I think that'll be close. You can take a touch if you want. As well. Yeah. Okay.
Sophie Jackson from Dumfries in Scotland.
There's 2 rocks left for Scotland, and they need both of those stones to hang on the scoreboard.
Really nice. Line's good. Take my brush.
Just need to bring this round to top 4.
We're good, we're good.
Take my brush. Yep.
Really nice, good stuff.
Really good.
Great shot.
Well split.
But USA just want to peel the guard. They don't want to do anything clever and try and go for the raise in case they stuff it. So peel the guard. Sophie has to put the counter in and just hope for an error from USA.
Jamie Sinclair peeling. Hits and rolls away.
Nice call. Good job. Nice shot, Jamie. Good. Nice throw. Gonna throw the same way anyway.
Do you like top 12? So if we're going around the corner.
USA have really played a great 10th end, keeping it clear.
There's not really any like biting, but
Same throw. Touch less weight.
It's always quite demoralising when you know you've got no cover. You have to just put it in the house and hope.
Yeah, and hope for a complete miss. It's never a great feeling when you don't control your own destiny any longer. But you have to give Team Scotland a ton of credit for holding focus after giving up the score of 6.
Absolutely.
To even be in this situation, skip throwing their last stone in the 10th after that. Really gritty performance from the young team from Scotland.
Okay, good so.
Nice.
Well split.
Yep, that's really all they can do. A great fight from this young Scottish team. Their heads didn't go down. After losing that 6, they fought hard and made Jamie Sinclair play her last stone for victory.
Last stone. Sweepers on it.
And a perfect double to end the game.
And with the cherry on top, Jamie Sinclair makes the double.
Yeah, I didn't see it. You all right? Good game. Good game. Yeah. Thanks. Sorry. Thank God. Welcome to my life. Didn't even see it.
USA wins 9-7 over Team Scotland.
Did you call me man? Yeah, I did. And I was like, oh. Awesome. Where you come out strong? Yeah, that last one was good. Yeah, cleaned it up.
A really tough performance from Scotland. They come up just short. They'll look back at that score of 6, wonder how the wheels came off the bus in that end. USA playing steady. Don't leave just yet. There's some more action to be found here at the Silkeborg Sports Center. Chelsea Carey and her team from Canada. They're down to their last couple of stones. Sweden is up by 2 points. And Chelsea Carey makes a beautiful hit and roll.
I thought it was light.
Yeah, I thought so too.
It was light, yeah.
Didn't run anything like that.
Anna Hasselborg, the Olympic champions. They are already qualified for post-round robin play. They are guaranteed the #1 spot.
Ja, jättegott.
Canada sits at 5-5 in the standings. They must win this game.
Jaha, nej. Den ligger ovanför. Ja. Märket, precis.
We're also keeping our eye on Denmark and Finland. Denmark's got an opportunity here to win this game with a draw. Anna Hasselborg has the opportunity to win the game with a double takeout. And she does. It's concession from Canada. That will be a 5-3 final. And Madeline DuPont, skip of the host nation, Team Denmark, lands that draw on the 8-foot. They take a 7-6 victory over Finland. The Swedish machine and its fans dismantling the hopes of Canada. One more game is left out on the ice. Latvia and Korea. There's 3 stones left in this game. Korea has the last stone advantage. They are down by a single point. Latvia is shot stone right on top of that LGT logo. They've got guards in front. Kim Min-ji is going to play the run back double takeout. Iveta Stasis Orsune, she has 1 rock left. She looks on. With precision, the steady weapon for Team Korea, the run back takeout. Timely execution here in this 10th end. Iveta Stasis Orsune lines up her draw. There is a place for her to hide. Two stones left here.
She's played the drawing game so well all week. It's a shot she loves.
Sweepers are right off. They want to hide as much of this stone as they can. They've got to drag it. A little bit of distance means a little bit more curl. Did they hide that enough?
I don't know if Korea will be able to see any of it. There you get a good view. There is a possibility for Korea to just come up and tap that back.
Play a gentle backline weight, hack weight shot.
Yeah, the weight was good to bury right round there, but it just didn't bend as much as she had thought.
And a very back and forth game, a tight game played all the way along. Kim Min-ji and Team Korea have this shot for the win.
Take them to 8 wins in this championship. There's a bit of panic sweep there, but it seems to be okay.
Yeah, it was hold the line right at release. They pull it back out. And that delicate weight right to nose. 2 points to Team Korea. And that seals the victory and closes out session 18. Relief all around for Team Korea.
Yep, 8 wins at the World Ladies Championship for this young team of 19-year-olds.
In our feature game, there's the final, 9-7. What an awesome game. The 7th end is the real story of this game. An incredible opportunity that doesn't come along often. A hit for 6 points executed by Jamie Sinclair with precision. In the 8th end, Scotland's got something going. Sophie Jackson and company need a hit. Do they hold both stones? They do. They take 2 points to tighten up the scoreline. After excellent play in 9 and 10, it ends with handshakes. USA the victor, 9-7. Final scores from around the sheet. Latvia dropping to Korea 7-8. Denmark takes the win 7-6 over Finland. Sweden winning their game 5-3 over Canada. And our feature sheet leads us to the standings. That win huge for Korea. They have now guaranteed qualification in the final 6. And you can see Switzerland, China, United States, Japan, Canada, all fighting for those last 3 spots available in the playoff rounds. We'll get to talk with the winning skip, Jamie Sinclair.
Jamie, many congratulations. 6 wins. Playoff hopes are still alive. How was that game for you?
It was good. It was, I think, a good game for us. Struggled a little bit with the ice, but really proud of the girls, especially for getting that 6-banger in the one end. So just keeping that momentum going into the next one.
It was a really cagey start to the game from both sides. But even when you got that 6, Scotland still pushed you to that last stone.
Yeah, that's just it. We got caught on the ice in a couple spots. I think we were throwing the rock okay. Just got caught in a couple spots.
So Switzerland in the last game, how are you going to prepare for that one?
Well, I think it's a lot of what we've been doing. I think our game plan's really strong, and I think we're throwing the rock well. We just got to figure out the ice before they do.
Well, good luck. Congratulations today. Thank you.
And on behalf of myself and Swisshelm, my partner, Rhona Howie, and the entire crew, thank you for watching our live coverage from the LGT World Women's Curling Championship 2019.